Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a Rapid Transformational Therapy practitioner, and this is my channel, Hypnotherapy Creating Solutions. Okay, let's talk about procrastination. I know what I feel like when I'm procrastinating. I feel like I'm overwhelmed, like I can't make a decision, like there's so many things going on and I can't break it down and I don't know where to start, and I'm guessing you probably felt the same way. Okay, so I'm going to give you a real world example of something that went terribly wrong because of procrastination, just to put it into focus. So I have a friend who was given a large inheritance, and that inheritance was intended to help him and provide for him after he retired. So it was sort of making sure he was okay in his old age. And he went crazy with spending it. No surprise. Instead of keeping it as a pot for later, he really dove into just enjoying himself. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great to go out and have a lot of fun. And what happened is that he got to the point where he really hadn't been tracking how much he'd been spending, and he wasn't sure how much was left. And that fear and that stress and that shame and that uncertainty was so overwhelming that what he started doing was spending more and not addressing the issue at all. And he put it off, put it off, put it off. And then what happened was, and this was 20 years ago, this is when we used to get our bills in paper form, he refused to pay his bills. We used to balance checkbooks. We don't do this anymore, but he refused to balance his checkbook. He couldn't face anything to do with money. He couldn't face anything to do with figuring it out. And so those bills started to pile up on the table by his front door. And it used to be, I don't know if it still is, but it used to be that they would start to turn pink when you didn't pay them and then start to turn red. So he had a big stack of red mail. And it got to the point where it was so extreme that he eventually was forced to address it, but it had completely snowballed and gotten completely out of hand. And there's nothing more stressful than watching those unpaid bills stack up. And it's not that he couldn't pay them, he just pushed it all aside. He really was so overwhelmed and so unsure of how to handle it that it got bigger than it needed to be, and he never asked for help. So this is an example of procrastination going way too far beyond what is necessary, what can help you. This is when it becomes a disaster. So what do you do when you're in this kind of situation, or maybe not something quite so disastrous? So it is very hard if you're overwhelmed to break things down. The first thing that helps really is to be present to your emotions, to really feel what you're feeling. Are you afraid? Are you overwhelmed? Are you ashamed? Are you scared? Are you confused? Just stay present to that. As you tune in to your inner self and what you're actually feeling, the relief of that, the staying present to what's actually going on, helps you gain a little bit more clarity. It actually helps you start to get a handle on the situation. And then if you can, take one practical step forward. For example, with my friend, pay one bill. The relief from taking one step propels you forward. It gives you momentum. It says, oh, it wasn't that bad. Oh, thank God it's done. Oh, what a relief. I don't have to think about that anymore. And that gives you just enough so that you can go forward and take the next one. And then, if you are still completely overwhelmed, acknowledge that there are probably some really strong underlying emotions that need to be dealt with, and you need help. So my friend that had the issue, he had, as I said, he had shame, he had fear, he had uncertainty. But remember, he received an inheritance. He hadn't addressed his grief. There were so many underlying emotions, and he was spending to make himself feel better, to fill himself up with pleasure, because he didn't know how to do it on the inside. He was trying to get it from the outside. So when you're in a situation where you're procrastinating and you're just trying to make yourself feel better, ask for help. Reach out, because there's often a lot going on under the surface that you're not aware of, that's subconscious, that you need help with. So this is where hypnotherapy comes in, because hypnotherapy taps into your subconscious. It taps into the root, what is really going on. It helps you gain clarity on where this all started, where these patterns, where these coping mechanisms, because this is what this is. Procrastination is really a coping mechanism. It helps you understand where it started, and if you don't want to be plagued with it anymore, it helps you clear out this way of coping and make it more positive, make it more empowering, make it easier on you, so things aren't spiraling out of your control. So if you want to learn more, you can go to my website, jcochranhypnotherapy.com. The link is below. And there's lots of information on my website, and you can also book a free 30-minute discovery call to talk to me and ask questions and learn more. So please like and subscribe and follow this channel for more. Thank you.